Hey, so I'm kind of confused. Kind of questioning things here a little bit. I usually kind of refer to can see myself as someone who kind of can read ahead and see like what changes are going to be made, what's going on, and how basically sports in general are changing for the better or for the worse. And of course it has been in the last couple of years. I know I made a number of videos about rule changes and how things are going to be different for maybe the season that's coming up, or just in a couple of seasons that are going to be added in some ways, and how it's going to be affecting different situations along the way and how teams are going to be dealing with it. But this rule came up and I was like, okay, cool, like this is gonna be something that can be definitely used and should be very helpful in the future. When it's gonna, and it had already started, and that is the checking swing rule, which is going to be has already been used starting this past Tuesday in the Class A Florida State League, and of course it's going to be tested in the minors for a little bit. I honestly, again, think that they should be testing it for like a year, maybe 2 tops, and then send it right to the majors, because majors are where things are needed for the major parts of it, because that's where people's careers will obviously survive or die. Like, yeah, you can go out to the majors, get traded, change teams, and come up into another team. Maybe the change of atmosphere helps that player out with their career, and you can definitely see a major difference in their performance. But this is something that should be already up, should have already been thought of as being in the league, I think. And it uses a Hawkeye system where it's basically for both side righty and lefty batter, that when you swing the bat, and of course they have this slow-mo after the call is made. And if you also don't notice, of course, balls and strikes cannot be argued throughout any game. I don't agree with that at all, really, honestly. That's why I think the ABS system, the automated balls and strike system, should already be in the league. They should have been in the league years ago, a decade ago, 5 decades ago, like whatever. I don't know how it's not. Of course, we didn't have the technology back then to actually have it in the league, but you had them use it throughout the entire spring training. I don't really see what there's a problem with it. Like, I honestly thought it was a very good thing, because you have players that are getting caught. You have basically, it could change the course of the game in one pitch. That one pitch can really change the course of an entire season, entire career, entire whatever goes along there. But this is going to be pretty, should again be one of those things that should be in there. Righty and lefties will be measured on a 45-degree angle there from the front of the plate to the line. So for a righty, you're going to be checked from the plate to the line down first base, and for a lefty, it's the home plate to the line down third base, which is a 45-degree angle. Anything less than that will be called a no swing, and of course vice versa for farther will be a swing. And actually, this is very, very interesting, and I actually do like this a lot, is that a team will be allowed to make a challenge until it makes an unsuccessful challenge. So you could challenge 10 times in a game, and of course, if you obviously are right, you're right, and you continue to challenge out the course of it until you obviously don't get that call. So yeah, that it's gonna really also the MLB experimented with the system in the Arizona Fall League games last year at Salt River Fields, which I had no idea about. I'm following numerous stuff, and I did not see anything about that. And apparently, there's no definition of a check swing in the official baseball rules. Through it references check swing appeals. But again, it should be another thing that should have already been in the league for the last couple of years. So I'm thinking I'm adding some. This is another thing to the list. ABS system for balls and strikes, which of course you get thrown out. We've seen that a number of times with players and coaches throughout the seasons get called out and ejected for that. And also this just check swing, because you're basically you are literally counting on a umpire who is 95 plus behind past the base. Like, sometimes their eyes are not always set on the bat, and sometimes I'm sure that if you go ask the ump about that one call, sometimes they're like, I have no idea, I just think that I'm out of the corner of my eye, I didn't see it that well. It could have been a full swing, or it could have not been. You are literally counting on a human being from probably almost 100 feet away for all of those calls. and this, when you check the system, it would be put basically directly over, which I'm amazed how, because there's never anything over, like there are cameras, but you're gonna have a direct, probably that's with the Hawkeyes, a direct camera over the batter and seeing how far they go. So I really like this, and it should definitely be in the thing, especially with the having literally basically unlimited challenges until you get one wrong, which is actually a pretty cool thing. I like that. And also, I don't see anything about like a 15-second timer, because obviously that's what you have for other replays, like save calls or out calls in general, like catching the ball, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not really, that's again another thing, like I'm not seeing any rules like that where you can't wait enough of time or anything like that. But again, these are all things that can definitely change the course of the game, and you always, I'm looking for the better route to having a better game and seeing the best out of players possible. So this should definitely be an awesome thing to hopefully be implemented in the next few years. But again, I think that going back to the ABS system, I think that is going to be implemented into the next season. I will definitely be keeping a close eye on that one to definitely have that information be out here. But yeah, this is something that needs to, that should have been thought of a long time ago, and I'm happy it's actually having something be done now. So this is awesome. Let me know what you think about this system and what you think about other changes that should be done and have not been done, or things that should not have been done in the first place. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!